Evening. I'm very happy that I'm alone in my office so I don't have to put my mask on, but I wish I was with you all. I wish we were here in person. I wish things were back to normal because we miss you guys so much. We are excited for the school year to get started. And so this is one of our video segments, and there are others. If you haven't seen them, if this is your first one, just know that there's a video specifically talking about COVID and some of the things that we're going to be doing here on campus. And there's a few other videos, so check those out. And then all the teachers' videos are uploaded. So we're going to talk about some expectations that we have going through this whole process. You have to know how much we do miss you. You have to know how much we're going to miss having you all day, every day. And, we didn't get into education to look at you through a computer. So this is going to be really tough on all of us as well. Know that there is so much information coming out on a daily basis and it's changing continually. Sometimes I'm about to send out an informational email to you all and then the information changes. And so I have to change my email and it's interesting, but I do appreciate the patience that you've all shown. It's amazing. And I can't thank you enough for that because it's hectic and just trying to make sure we're doing the absolute best we can for you and your children. It's what we do. It's our heart. And know that schedules, information about your group will be coming soon. On the first day of school, we're going to have on the 17th is the first day of school, and we're going to have groups. There's going to be an A group and a B group, and we will have special names and we'll tell you the names of the groups, but know that one group will be Mondays and Tuesdays on campus and another group will be Wednesdays and Thursdays on campus. Students who are on campus on Monday and Tuesday will be remote learning on Wednesday and Thursday. Families with students who are on campus Wednesdays and Thursdays, those students will be remote learning on Mondays and Tuesdays. Fridays for everybody will be a finish up for the week. You'll make sure you'll check in with your teachers. There may be small quizzes, there may be information checks, there may be assignments, and so you'll have to check because Friday will be remote learning for everyone. But the big takeaway, all 5 days, your student is in school. We have to have students in school for each of these days for attendance reasons, but also for the rigor. We have to make sure your students are learning and not falling behind, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to make sure that that's happening. And in order to be here all 5 days, either on campus or remote learning, your student has to have technology, and that has to be a laptop, a tablet, an iPad, a Chromebook, something. We do have some available at the school, so you can give us a call if you may need something, a Chromebook to borrow for the school year. And so know that, again, more information will be coming. And so, teachers will be teaching full lessons. They are not going to teach this to this group today on Monday and Tuesday, and then the same thing on Wednesday and Thursday. Teachers are teaching, they're recording their lessons. Soon we will be able to live stream, but they will be recording their lessons. Students will watch the videos, or teachers will put Zoom links in so students can Zoom during the class and watch the class and be present at that time so teachers can answer questions. Teachers will be going from lesson to lesson to lesson. They will not be just repeating, because then we'll only get through half of the material in the school year, and we're going to get through a year's worth of material, and it sounds daunting, but we will make it work. Together, we will all make it work. Teachers will have office hours on Friday especially. Teachers can be reached via email, and if you call the school, you can be transferred to their phones and leave voicemails for them as well so they can call you back, but emails will be their main source. Students are being issued email addresses, and so that's how teachers will communicate with students as well from time to time, but students have to use their James Irwin issued email to communicate with teachers. And so teachers will be, their office hours will be Friday. And again, we will post those times so everybody can be aware and get supports. Students will attend class 2 days a week in person and 3 days a week remotely. So they have to have 5 school days. Students will be in class or online during class times. As the blended learning cycle, we're 2 days in class, 3 days online, students will need to be in time in their scheduled class time. So students will be on their computers all day long. So knowing that they have to manage their time very wisely. Students have to participate. If they do not participate, they will fall behind, and that will be a problem. So students will participate. Students will do their work. If you don't do your work, you will fall behind. If you aren't understanding something and you don't participate and you don't do your work, the teacher doesn't know, and so you will, I'm going to say it again, fall behind. Make sure that you are participating, asking questions, getting the support you need. Students will watch their videos or live stream the teacher's presentation when that's available, but students, you have to do this every day. This gets me into parents will. Parents will require their students to do their work. We're going to need your supports to make sure that your students are in class doing the things that they're supposed to do. If you're at work and your students are at home doing school, when you get home, we ask that you to take some time and make sure that they are doing that work. We're asking you to make sure your students are sleeping. Most young kids need roughly 9 to 12 hours of sleep. Middle school students, teenagers need at least the minimum 9 hours of sleep. They may say they don't, but they're groggy, they're inattentive, they're sluggish, their brains aren't fully engaging all the time, and so they do need that sleep. We need to make sure they're eating well-rounded meals. My favorite is pizza and ice cream, but I can't survive on just pizza and ice cream. And so we ask that you make sure your students are getting well-rounded meals and lots of rest. Rest and sleep, not the same thing. So make sure that your students are taking breaks. Make sure, and teachers will support them through this during the day, but also your support in making sure that they take a few minutes, that they're not just blowing through everything because they'll exhaust themselves, and so they do need some downtime. Passing periods are the way we use it at school, brain breaks in classes, and things like that. So make sure your student is getting rest. Parents have to communicate with teachers. You have to be on the same page, and we know that things are difficult and everything is so, everybody's being stretched so far out of comfort zones and what's normal. And so it's really easy to get frustrated and agitated and upset. So we just ask that you understand that teachers are doing the very best we can. And if there's something that you're getting frustrated with, just call the teacher, email the teacher, and just, what's up? I need your support. Tell me what's happening, what's going on, and get those supports from that teacher. And they are going to be more than happy to help you with their child. But just know that there might be misunderstanding because we're not always in the room together. So make sure that you explain your side, the teacher will explain their side, and I know we'll come to an understanding. But parents, we also need you to check on your progress of your student daily. Kidding, weekly. Daily's better, but weekly. Double check that they've turned everything in because they say they have, but they don't always do it. We have changed our late work policy. Because the mission of P-TECH is to prepare students to enter the workforce with skills necessary to be successful in their trade, but being young men and women of character with strong work ethics. And that is our mission statement. That is what we believe. And that is the people that we're going to make. And so middle school students, 1 day late is 25% off, 2 days late is 50% off, 3 or more, it's a 0. High school students, 1 day late, 50% off, 2 or more, it's a 0. We have to hold our students to these standards because we have to make them accountable. They need to know that they need to have strong work ethic, and turning your work in is a character piece because if you can't do your job, you're not necessarily going to get hired. But attendance is vital. Students have to be in attendance all 5 days. If they get sick, we get that, but we need them to make up that homework. They can't be sick too often. If students have now COVID, something happens, there are policies surrounding that, and I'll touch on that in the COVID video. But just know that if it's a stomach flu and the whole family ate something last night and is not agreeing with us, that work has to be done. If a student misses 14 days, on the 15th day, they lose credit. In high school, they do not get credit for a class per the Colorado Department of Education. In middle school, they may have to repeat that grade again. So attendance is vital. And I know sitting at home doing your work sometimes lends itself to not participating, but parents, we need you to ensure that your students are participating. Homework. It has to be done. It has to be done every day. Make sure you're checking those due dates and you're turning it in. These two pictures, it's the difference between success and not. And so if your student is struggling, get support. Make sure they are talking with their teacher. Please support your students with review. Encourage them to review their material so that way they are ready for quizzes. They are ready for tests. It just is vital to their success. Homework is also assigned because it reinforces what we went over today. It helps take it from a short-term memory and pulls it into a long-term memory. And so that's why we give homework, to help reinforce what they have learned. Homework isn't extra. Homework isn't to torture. Homework is designed to reinforce what they've learned, to help them remember it for long periods of time. So that's this video. And like I said, there are a few other videos for you to look at and find. I'm sorry I went so fast, but I just don't want to take up too much of your time because I could ramble on and I don't want to. We miss your children. We can't wait to be back in person. We hope you're all doing well, and here's to a great school year.